the regret leaving his body as he took his last breath, I realized for the first time that my mission is to help people make sure that as many people leave this earth not regretting. And that's literally what happened to me about 3 weeks ago when my second father, who I love and adore as a second father, my uncle, passed away. And very different from my dad. My dad, when he passed away a year and a half ago, he left this world with no regrets, right? He left this world very fulfilled. And quite honestly, to kind of boast a little bit about me and my wife, we have provided my dad the really the best last 10 years of his life. He's worked most of his life, and we retired him 10 years ago before our son Alexander was born, almost 11 years ago. And we basically forced him to retire, and we've taken care of him and my mom for the last 10 years. And they got a chance to travel the world with us. They got a chance to go places they never went before, and to live with no stress, no financial obligations because we took care of everything. And they also, got a lot of love, and they got a chance to live their very best life in the last 10 years. My mom's still with us. And she's here in Taiwan with me. As a matter of fact, she lives with us, right? And we travel the world, and we take her and my dad too. And when we forced my dad to retire 10 years ago, he finally, like for the first time, they need to pay the rent or the house, right? Because they lived under our roof. We moved them from Minnesota to Dallas, Texas, where we live. Bought him a brand new truck, right? And gave him, he loves lottery scratch off, so he's got a chance. He got essentially we paid him weekly, both him and my mom, and for them to use for whatever they want, right? They got their retirement money coming in, and it's like it's going into their bank account because they're not using it, and we're paying them to live with us, right? To retire. So my dad passed away very fulfilled, but my uncle, on the other hand, did not, right? And when he passed away 3 weeks ago, I saw, how he was his last few days with us as I was visiting him, and there was a lot of regret. There's a lot of regret, and I saw a lot of untapped potential. So these two men in my life, my uncle was charismatic, handsome, tall, and outgoing, and had a lot of potential that was untapped, right? So that's what I mean by when he left this world, taking his last breath, there was a lot of regret, things that he wanted to do that he wasn't able to do, that didn't get a chance to do because he didn't go for it, right? My dad, on the other hand, just he pursued everything. Even if he didn't have the skills, the strategies, he pursued everything he worked hard for it, right? He went after it, right? And he's not even as intelligent as my uncle, but so my uncle's more intelligent, had more skills, had more potential, right? Knew more things, but he didn't do anything with them, right? So it's my mission now how can I share this, what I know, the strategies I know, the knowledge I know, who I am, what I'm doing, how I live, right? Just like this laptop lifestyle, being the best example possible of it to kind of go after your dreams, right? And money has a lot to do with this, right? But before money can be made, mindset has a lot to do with it. That's why today's mastermind is about, right, money over mindset over money, right? Because you have to become rich before actually money comes to you, right? You have to be a rich person. Rich people are not rich because they have money. Rich people are rich because they became rich first, right? They became rich first. Okay. So again, welcome to today's mastermind. And the formula for success in terms of money is this: it's mindset times skill set times tool set equals asset, right? And income follows assets, right? In your life, my life, our lives, if we really want to be very rich, we really want to be wealthy, it's about creating assets, creating income. It's called IPA, income producing assets. It's about creating income producing assets. If you can create income producing assets, you will be rich, right? So the formula for success is mindset times skill set times tool set. Those three things equals asset. And here's the thing. And we're not talking about assets in terms of just buying buildings like I do for a commercial property, or residential buildings, or investing into, income producing assets like stocks or Bitcoin. I'm not just talking about that. Those are all assets that we in our lifetime should create and should have. But the biggest asset, guys, is us. The most powerful, the most valuable asset that we own is ourselves. And that's why today, because if income follows assets, then that's why today I want to talk about mindset. Because if we are the most powerful, the most valuable asset, why do we neglect ourselves? Why do we abandon ourselves? Why do we not pour as much energy and resources and skills and tool sets and mindset into this very powerful, very valuable asset, ourselves? Because if you can do that, you then have turned yourself into an ATM with unlimited funds, unlimited resources, unlimited energy, right? We are the most valuable asset. So that's why today I'm going to talk about mindset. I will do another mastermind on money mastery, which encompasses all three: mindset, skill set, and tool set. But this particular mind over money mastermind today is going to be only about mindset. Okay, so be on the lookout for that one. That's going to be a doozy, right? So I'm going to share with you a framework that I have used to build my life, right? 19 years ago, I decided this December will be my 19th year as an entrepreneur, when I decided to quit my job, right? Fire my company, fire my boss, and start my own business. And I realized that if I was going to continue doing what I was doing, I was going to build somebody else's dream, not mine. So I made a decision to say yes to myself and build my dream. So this framework I'm going to share with you is called the Purpose Driven Payday, right? Purpose Driven Payday Model, which is 3 very simple steps. The very first step is purpose. Second is value. And third is method. Okay, purpose, value, method. And let's really dive into purpose first. There's 3 steps here that you have to do. If you really want to be wealthy, you want to be rich, you want to be the top 1%, the very first thing you have to do is change your belief about the primary purpose of money. You have to change your belief about the primary purpose of money. You see, this whole system, this whole lie, this whole conditioning that we've been conditioned to, right, was to keep us poor. And then there's rich. Poor people believe that the primary purpose of money is to pay bills, right? Because that's how we're conditioned, right? Go to school, get educated, go work for a company, right? And then, one day you'll retire. Pay your bills, be a good citizen, pay your taxes, pay your bills, and then, we'll let you retire one day at 65. That's it. That was the lie, and we bought into it. We bought into it. Not only did we were conditioned and bought into that lie, they also trained us. I used to walk into class, homeroom. Come to homeroom. This is where you check in. This is where you clock in. And once you get to homeroom, sit right over there next to little Johnny, but don't talk to little Johnny. Don't talk until the teacher tells you to talk. And when the bell rings, listen. Listen to your teacher lecture, and listen to your teacher teach you, because the teacher knows best. And what did that set us up to do? To keep us poor. To keep us obedient so that we can go to work and clock in, right? So that we can go sit at our little box desk, drive to our work in our little box car, eat our box lunch, drink our box juice, right? come home and watch our box TV. That's how we were conditioned to keep us poor, right? So the poor people believe that the primary purpose of money is to pay bills. Middle class people believe the primary purpose of money is to pay bills on time to maintain good credit. That's middle class. We have to change our belief about the purpose of money. Okay? So that pay your bills on time, have good credit, so you can go get in more debt and get good credit and, you know, continue working, pay down your debts, have nice things on credit, leverage. And what people don't realize, there's two types of leverage. There's good credit, bad credit. There's assets, liabilities. Most Americans are in debt. They have liabilities. So how can they think about adding to this valuable asset yourself when they're so, right, in debt, when they're buried in debt? You can't think past today because you're in survival mode. They want to keep the poor and middle class in survival mode all the time, right? Rich people believe that the primary purpose of money is to have money make more money. That's the difference. We create mama money and daddy money and bring them together and have them create baby money so that we don't spend mama money and daddy money, we spend baby money. That's what rich people believe. The primary purpose of money is to make money, have children, have little babies, and then you spend only the babies. Right? That's a difference. You have to change your belief about the primary purpose of money. That's the very first step. That was my biggest breakthrough, understanding why I actually quit my job 19 years ago. If I continue working here, I am going to continue being poor. At the very best, I will be middle class. I will not be rich. With what I am doing, there is no chance I will have the money I make more money, at least at the level that I want to make. So I changed my primary purpose, my primary belief of the purpose of money. Because if you change your belief about the primary purpose of money, the outgoing, because think about it. If your primary purpose of money is to pay bills or to pay bills on time so you maintain credit, that is your outgoing. It's not very motivating on the incoming side, right? Right? Well, it's not very motivating to go to work and make money just to pay your bills or to pay your bills on time. Right? It's not very motivating. It's not very inviting. You're not telling the universe why you want to make abundance of money. You're just telling the universe because your outgoing is to pay bills and to pay bills on time to maintain good credit, then you're just telling the world just to give you just enough to do that. If you're outgoing, you say, no, I want to change the world. I want to impact people's lives. I want to contribute. I want to live life on my terms. I want to live the laptop lifestyle. I want to live, work, earn from it. I want to go travel the world with my children, be with them, spend time with people I love, spend time on the things I love, visit new places, go to a restaurant and eat and not have to worry about the right side of the menu, walk into it, buy whatever I want. Just like I came here with a stack of $80,000. I didn't have to think. $50,000 for my house, $30,000 I'm going to use. Over half of that will be to contribute to wherever I go. Just like I came here to Taiwan, gave my kids a bunch of money. We were walking around, so I found people who were begging or poor. We just handed them money left and right. When I go to Laos, we'll be setting up contributions at a temple, buying food and medicine and water and school supplies and clothes. And so that the villagers can come here and get whatever they want. If your outgoing is your primary purpose of money is because money's energy, right? So if your primary purpose of money is like that, then the universe says, oh my God, look what he or she is trying to do with their money. I need to give them more, right? I need to give them more. I need to give them a different income coming in, right? If that's how they're going to use their money outgoing. So the primary purpose of money for rich people is that money makes more money, so that they can do more outgoing stuff like this. So change your belief around money. Okay. The second step is, this is my second breakthrough, was value, right? Change your belief about the value of money. Change your belief about the value of money. Not only do you have to change your belief about the primary purpose of money, but change your belief about the value of money. You see, I've been doing this most of the time for all my life, but I was kind of dabbling on it, right? But really about 6 years ago, I said, oh my God, I changed the value of money. I stopped looking at things as a cost. Poor people look at everything as a cost. They look at offers as a cost. They look at offers as expensive or an expense. Instead of looking at the benefits, the payoff, I started changing my belief about the value of money. Somebody makes me a $100,000 offer. I look at that and I don't look at it as a cost anymore. I look at the value of what that brings me versus what I'm going to actually invest. So change your belief about the value of money. And there's 2 steps here. That's the first step. You guys got to stop looking at everything as a cost. If there is a clear return, just like our offer here, right? Michelle, for example, said yes to our offer, right? She didn't look at the $997 offer. She looked at the payoff. She looked at the benefits because she saw the value of the benefits. She saw the value of being here with me. She saw the value of the courses. She saw the value of the monthly boot camp that we provide. She looked past the $997 and became resourceful, even though she didn't have the resources as much as she would want. But she found a way to be resourceful. Why? Because she saw the benefits, the payoff. She stopped looking at the value of money as a cost. Right? The second step, whatever you're trying to make, you got to change your belief about the value of money in terms of what you're trying to make. If you are trying to make 6 figures, if that's what you want to make, I should take the word trying out. If you want to make 6 figures, you cannot believe that 6 figures is a lot of money. You got to stop that. Because if you want to make 6 figures, you got to see 7 figures as a lot of money. If you want to make 7 figures, you got to see 8 figures as a lot of money. You got to stop believing that 7 figures is a lot of money. If you want to make 8 figures, you got to see 9 figures as a lot of money. You got to stop valuing and seeing 8 figures as a lot of money, because that's what you want to make. Just like me and my wife have a target to hit $100 million in 5 years with her company and my company, right? $100 million in 5 years. So I cannot see $100 million. I cannot see 9 figures as a lot of money, because that's what I want to hit. I got to see 10 figures. I got to see $1 billion as a lot of money. And once I saw $1 billion as a lot of money, it's easy for me to hit 9 figures. So easy. Because if I saw 9 figures as a lot of money, then I'm already fighting an uphill battle, believing that the value of 9 figures is a lot. And it's going to take me a lot to hit that. Does this make sense? Okay. Whatever you're trying to hit, you got to stop seeing that as a lot of money, because that's just your target. You're trying to hit that. What's a lot of money is the next step up. Okay. You got to change your belief about the value of money. Third is method. This is my biggest breakthrough. You're right. There's 3 steps here. The purpose, you got to change your belief about the primary purpose of money. Second is you got to change your belief about the value of money. And third is method. You got to change your belief about the method you use to make money. Because again, the system is designed to keep us poor. Designed to keep us poor. Make money this way. Designed to keep us poor. And people buy into it. I bought into it until I said no more. Right? Because here's the reality. You are broke because you are broke, not because you have a money problem. You are broke because you have a way of making money problem. That's why you're broke. That's why you're broke. And I know I am qualified to be here to tell you because I wasn't born rich. So as you hear this, you're like, okay, this guy's legit because he's telling me things that he went through. I wasn't born. My mom and dad were poor. We lived in a very poverty-stricken neighborhood. My city that I came to the US when I was 5 years old to live in was called Murderapolis at that time. That's how many murders there were. It was the worst city in the United States, Minneapolis, of all places, called Murderapolis. I didn't grow up with money. So I know what it's like to buy into the lie, to live the lie, and to come out the other side. Right? Did you guys know that this is it? This is the lie that they told us. Right? Go to work, get a good education, retire one day. The lifetime income of somebody who gets a high school degree, the entire lifetime of their being on this earth, they will make anywhere between 1.5 to 1.7 million dollars their entire life. If you have a bachelor's degree, anywhere between 2.3 to 2.8 million dollars your entire life. If you have a master's and a doctorate, between 3 million to 4.2 million. To me, that is sickening. Sickening. Your entire life. I made $2.2 million last year. I made more than somebody that holds a bachelor's degree their entire life in 1 year. That's the lie I stopped buying into. Right? I found that the biggest breakthrough for me was that is to find easier methods to make a lot of money in a short period of time instead of a little bit of money over a long period of time. That's a lie I stopped buying into. Because what you're actually doing is, I'd rather spend trading. That's all we're doing. We're trading my valuable time on my dream to make a lot of money versus, right, spend trading my valuable time on someone else's dream to make a little bit of someone else's money. That was my biggest breakthrough. I'm like, okay, I need a different method to make money, right? Because this is a lie. So this is our made of money system. So the lowest level of value in terms of money is muscle. And then the second is management. The third is mind. And then the fourth is message. The highest, if you really want to get paid, you really want to be rich, you got to go to level 4, right? Because if you look at it, muscle is implementation. This is the lie that they taught us, implementation. Hey, go work here, right? Do the thing. Implement the thing, right? Use your muscle. Use what God gave you to do these things, right? And then get a good education, right? After you implement, after you use your body, your muscle, get a good education. We'll move you up to management. Here, Ray, good job, right? We'll move you up to management so that you can start delegating people now so that you can do less work. You can use less of your muscles and you'll watch other people use their muscles, right? So now you can learn how to delegate. We'll promote you to a lead. We'll promote you to a supervisor. We'll promote you to a team leader. We'll promote you to a manager, a general manager. We'll give you a title. We'll tell you what you're worth. You become a vice president, executive vice president. You become a senior vice president. You become the president. You become the CEO, the chief operating officer. We'll tell you what you're worth. This is the lie. Until I realized no more. And I said, I have a lot to offer. I have a lot to offer the world. Because then you move from that implementation, you move from delegation, you move from muscle to management to saying, oh my God, I am an asset. My life experiences, my strategies that I have learned, I know. the skills that I possess, the struggles I've overcome, the successes I've achieved, the story that I need to share with the world. I have it. The things that I've learned, my failures, my successes, everything. Now you move from saying no more. I stop buying into the lie and go from management to mind. Mind is then educating people, right? Helping people improve an area of their life, their finances, their relationship, their business. Now you're educating, right? You moved up to the third level. Now you're starting to work towards wealth, being rich, moving away from poor and middle class. But where you really, really make a mark in this world, build a legacy, and lead, and really be rich, be wealthy, where your heart, your mind connects to your pocketbook. When you really truly make income and truly make impact, it was when you discover that you are the biggest asset, that you are the gift. Not just do you have gifts and superpowers, but you are the gift. And it's time to share your gift with the world, to share your message with the world, to shift yourself from just educating people and moving from education to transformation, helping people transform their relationships, their life, not just to get results, but to transform, to live life on their terms, to live their very best life, to stop settling and live an extraordinary life, to achieve at the highest level, to live a fulfilled life. That's when you become really, really rich. And that's how you change your belief about the method you use to make money. That you need to move. You have a message. We all have a message to share with the world, right? So again, just a recap. The purpose-driven payday model is purpose, value, method. Purpose is the very first step is understanding you got to change your belief about the primary purpose of money. Don't buy into the lie anymore that your job, your time, you're trading time just to make money to pay bills or to pay bills on time. Your primary purpose of money from today forward is to make as much as money as you possibly can, create as many mommy, daddy money so that those can have their beautiful sex and make little baby money so you can spend the baby money. That's your primary purpose of money. And look at your outgoing. What is your intention to do with that money? Right? You saw my video, for this mastermind, right? I shared with you, I went to the bank and ordered $80,000 worth of money, brand new bills, because coming to Asia, they don't really take used bills. So it's a whole racket over here. They like new bills. And it's actually, though, if you have old bills, they'll buy your bills for cheaper. They'll say, oh, I can only buy that for 80 cents on the dollar, because why? They ship it back to the US to get new bills, and so that they can, make 100% of $100, right? It's crazy. So I went to the bank and ordered $80,000 worth of bills, right? And that's what I shared with you on the video for this mastermind. You got to change your primary purpose of money. Your money is designed to make more money. Then value, right? You got to change your belief about the value of money. You got to stop seeing things as a cost. You got to stop seeing things as expensive. If there's a payoff, it's not expensive. If there's a result that you want to achieve and that thing gives you that payoff, stop looking at the cost. It's not expensive anymore when you look at it that way. Right? And then you also have to make sure that whatever you're trying to make, the value of money changes, that's not a lot of money anymore. 9 figures I can't look at it as a lot of money because that's what I'm trying to hit. $1 billion is a lot of money now. And then third is method. You got to change your belief about the method you use to make money. It's not about muscle. It's not about management. It's not even about mind anymore. Mind gets you there. It starts there. Turn your knowledge, right, in the things you possess into an offer. It's amazing to start. That's your first start to wealth. But when you really can formulate all of why you do what you do, turn that into a powerful message, several messages, several defining moment stories, and the drama surrounding that, obstacles and challenges that you were faced with, and then being able to transform yourself, come out the other side, and you can turn that into very powerful messages and attach that to your offer, attach that to your webinar, attach that to your mastermind, attach that message to your course. That is where rich happens. That is where wealth happens, because now you're helping other people transform. Right? And that, my friend, today is Mind Over Money Mastermind. How are we doing? All right, let's have a discussion. Change your belief about the primary purpose of money, my friends. What do you think about that?
I remember my dad when I was young would sit at the kitchen table with his ledger every payday, and he would go through his bills and see how much money he had at the end after he paid his bills. Now, it's kind of dangerous to not do that, right? Size, what do you say about that when it comes to overwhelming debt and appreciating the things you have? For example, we want to make sure we have a certain level of maintenance, right?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, the belief around the primary purpose of money, though, is something internally. It's not an external event or activity. See, when we believe that the primary purpose of money is to pay bills, then obviously external, that's what we're going to do, right? That's the result. That activity is going to happen there. And then if that's the poor, the middle class, the primary purpose of money is to pay bills on time so that you can maintain good credit, right? That's middle class. But the rich have said, no, the primary purpose of money, change my belief that the primary purpose of money is to have money make more money. Then now the activities change. Your activities change. You're telling your subconscious that, oh my God, I am the biggest asset that I own, not the buildings I own, not the real estate, not the stocks, not the Bitcoin, but I am the biggest asset. I need to pour as much energy and money and resources into this asset so that I can go out and this asset can produce me income producing assets. So this asset can go out and make more money so that we can create those baby, mommy and daddy money, so it can create all the little baby monies. And that is what I spend. Once you start changing your belief about the primary purpose of money, you will start seeing your actions change. Okay? Your actions and activities will change. And it'll be more inviting, right? The world, our creator, life, the universe, whatever you believe in, will send you the amount of money you need abundantly when you change your primary belief of money. Trust me on this. Okay?
My dad had a sad ending to he was one of those ones that fresh out of school, went to go work for the big companies. In fact, when Bell Atlantic moved and did AT&T, AT&T took my father. He worked in the basement of the White House for years, used to do the communications for the airports, did the communications for everything from the Olympics to the president to you name it. And because in fact, he even ended up with a get well card from Reagan way back when. But it's sad because he went through all that, retired, ended up, when I broke my neck 20 years ago in 2004, he got diagnosed right around the same time with early onset frontal lobia dementia. And he was 53 at the time, because he was exactly 20 years older than me. And by 64, he was gone.
Yeah. Why? Because he, just like many others, and I did for a long time, we bought into that lie of using our muscles, right, to make money. And then we bought into the lie of, if you get a good education, you move up. Now you do less muscle You
Yep.
do less muscle work, you move up to management, right? You start delegating people. We bought into that lie as well. And that is what keeps us poor.
And so many, and he was such a workaholic when I was growing up to where there was like, I mean, don't get me wrong, he did still live life, but there was still a lot of things that he didn't quite do, and they were just starting to do. And that was the saddest part of all of it. It's like all that time, what did it get you?
Yeah. Well, where did it get you? You're right, 100%. And then the second step that we talked about, right, which is the value of money. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Because when I shifted seeing offers and things I that were in front of me to make a decision, to make a choice to buy, like an coaching offer or something like that, I started looking at the value of money differently when I started looking at the payoff, the benefits of that versus the cost of that. And I know it's hard sometimes, like, oh my God, like, but that offer, right? But if you see it as an expense, you're like, that's expensive. And that's what poor people do. They look at the offer and that's expensive. But rich people look at that offer and say, wow, look at the payoff. They don't look at the offer itself as an expensive offer anymore. They look at the payoff. They look at what they will lose if they don't say yes to the offer. So that was a huge breakthrough for me to look at the value of money differently. And then second is I realized whatever I wanted to make, I cannot see that as a lot of money anymore. So if you want, when I first tried to strive to hit 7 figures with the online business, that's when I shifted. I said 7 figures is not a lot of money anymore. It's a target that I want to hit. 8 figures is a lot of money. So you got to stop seeing what you want to make as a lot of money, right? Because that's a trap. So like me and my wife are like, we have a 5-year goal to hit 9 figures. I don't see 9 figures as a lot of money anymore. I don't see $100 million as a lot of money anymore. I see $1 billion, 10 figures is a lot of money now. Why? Because I'm trying to hit 9 figures, right? I'm pursuing to hit 9 figures. If I see that as a lot of money, then I'm already fighting an uphill battle. So if you're trying to hit 6 figures, you got to see 7 figures as a lot of money. If you want to hit 8 figures, you got to see 9 figures as a lot of money. Trying to hit 7 figures, you got to see 8 figures as a lot of money. Does that make sense? Right? You got to change the value, change your belief about the value of money. And then third, yeah, go ahead. Please share that. The second step.
So what I was going to say is I'm fixing to do an event with Luke Hawkins, which I've done previously, but it's called 7 Figure Academy. And one part of this, he'll do it up on a screen for us, but 7 figures, he breaks it down into like 6 little chunks. And then he's like, okay, that's 3 people a week. 3 people a week at, $2,000.
Yeah.
Like that's, that's 7 figures.
Yep. Yeah.
And then the whole event, you're booking calls so that you can get like in momentum and get those people coming in to make it possible. And there's some people that make $10,000 in 2 days on this event. Like,
yeah.
But he breaks it down for you. He's like, this is 7 figures. This is nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, because all you're doing is following the 5 steps, right? You got to attract people. You got to generate the lead, build that list, give them the ability to give you something, right? Give something them so that they can give you their name, phone number, email. And then you got to convert that lead. You got to invite them to a call, a mastermind, a web class, whatever you're doing, a challenge. And then 4th step is client acquisition, which is you got to make an offer. So it's literally that easy, right? So the steps are there, but the thing that keeps people not doing the steps is because they still see the value of what they're trying to achieve as valuable. If you're trying to hit 7 figures, like I said, you have to stop seeing 7 figures as a lot of money. You have to change that, your belief around the value of that money. It's got 8
people
figures.
Say 7 figures is hard. And,
and they're trying to hit it. Think about what you're telling your subconscious mind. If you think that's a lot of money,
you're fearing it because you're saying a lot of money, a lot of work.
Correct.
But that's what he does in this event. He shows you, like he literally gives us everything. He gives us the Canva templates to do like a 5-session giveaway, 5 free session giveaway, all the like the copy and paste for the event, the script. He gives you the follow-up scripts. He gives you post to post. I mean, he's like, here you go, go do it.
Yeah.
Does it the
And if you
whole
look,
event.
yeah, and if you look around the room, why do if there was 100 people in the room, why do only a select few do it and make it happen? Is because those select few, you will realize when you dive into the world that they changed their belief about the value of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
They saw the thing that they're trying to achieve is not hard and it's not a lot of money anymore because 8 figures is a lot of money, right? And that's harder to get to 8 figures. So 7 figures now becomes, oh, that's your target. You're telling your subconscious mind that that's not a lot of money. That's just a target that you want to hit. 8 figures is really the one thing that's a lot of money. Then 7 figures becomes easy, right? Makes sense? Yes, Brandon.
Yeah, when we had met in Mexico, Cease, and you had had a lot of great visits, both with me and my dad, both together and individually over those 3 days. But I think it was like the second to last day, you came up behind me really quickly and just put your hands on my shoulders, and you just said, "Hey, I'm gonna get you and your dad up on that stage next year for your 2 Comma Club awards." And then you immediately walked off because it was a really busy event. That stuck with me more than everything else we had talked about, even though you had talked about so many great ideas, because I honestly had never believed in myself that I had that ability. I thought, even though I was doing ClickFunnels and building funnels and everybody was talking about a 2 Comma Club award, in my mind, I just was like, well, as long as I make enough money that I don't have to go back to a day job again. Like, is it like if I'm just making 60 or 80 grand a year, that's okay with me. But when you said, I want to get you and your dad up on that stage, and you said like next year, it lit a whole fire that I'd never.
Yeah.
I never even believed it was possible because nobody in my family has ever done that before. And that's why I called you and I said, okay, I want to learn more.
And nobody in our family, you're right. My family, nobody in my family does what I do. Nobody
Right.
in my family lives the way I live. Why? Because they all bought into the lie. They all work for a company. They all went to school, got into debt, got an education, moved up to management, right? And that's their ceiling. That's what they bought into. Delegation, right? Versus me, I'm like, no, my just management itself is not good enough. I need to move into mine. I am the biggest asset. And then I want to realize that I can formulate a message around all of this. That's when where rich really actually happens, right? Because the reason why I said that to you, because I don't see the value of 7 figures as a lot of money anymore, right? At that time when I touched you, I believe that 8 figures was a lot of money. Getting on stage was nothing.
That's
right.
right.
That's it. So I shifted my value of money at that point in time, and then I transfer that to you. That's all it is. Right now, I am moving to 9 figures. My target is to hit 9 figures, so I don't see 9 figures as a lot of money anymore. Right?
Well,
Especially when you're around people who are making 9 figures, like Russell, like Myron, like all these people, and you're like, 9 figures is not a lot of money anymore. $1 billion is a lot of money. So my target is hit 9 figures in the next 5 years. And my whole activity changes, my whole energy around it changes, my whole mindset, my whole emotions, my whole mentality around it changes. Right?
That's what was so powerful about that trip and meeting you on that trip was that when we had been invited to that trip, we didn't have the money to go. We didn't have the cash in the bank. And my dad and I, we counseled for weeks about it, and we weren't going to go because we just felt like, oh, that's reckless to put money on a credit card to just go on a joy trip like that, even if it is a business trip. But I had been reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad and how Robert Kiyosaki had taught that if you want to be rich, hang out with rich people. And that's what happened. It was I went to my dad one day and I said, I think we should really go. And he's like, and we both were worried, but I showed him that section in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I said, Dad, and sorry, this probably doesn't sound right, but just I said, where are we gonna have an opportunity to hang out around rich people for a week and be able to talk to them face to face? I said, where we're at right now, we don't have that. We don't have anybody in our Rolodex, even though we have, there's successful people in the community that we know that might sit down with us for lunch. We don't have that opportunity. And the night we met you and that you had been in the inner circle and you had done it, like my dad said afterwards, he was like, I get it now. And I was like, that was the whole point, was I was like, we've got to somehow, if we want to be successful, we got to associate ourselves with people who have already done it to somehow help us believe that we can
100%.
do it.
The
You-
law of
100%.
attraction says that as well. It says that, everything that causes an reaction has an equal and opposite reaction, and that the things that are set into motion, that is causality.
That's right. Absolutely,
Yep.
Sean. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then the last step of this is the method you use to make money, right? We got to change our belief around the method we use to make money. We got to stop buying into the lie of, using our muscles, physically doing work to make money. We got to stop buying the lie of, oh, you get a good education, go to management and start delegating to make money, and believe that we are the biggest asset, so that we pour money, energy, resources into ourselves. We are the biggest asset. We have things in our mind, a message to share. That's when you actually truly 100% become rich, right? Got to change our belief around the method we use to make money. So guys, I got to run. So we are at our hour here. So I invite you to a couple things. One is this coming Thursday's web class. I will be in Singapore running it. I'm in Taiwan right now, and I'm leaving Taiwan right now to go to Singapore. I'll be in Singapore. Actually, I apologize. I will be in Malaysia, not Singapore. This Thursday, I'm gonna be walking through a web class about speed to success, and I'm gonna use a case study, very powerful case study, as a matter of fact, of the New York Mets, the New York Yankees, as well as the Dodgers, and how they actually made a decision and the 5 steps that actually started the decision making and all the things that they needed to leading up to, right? Fighting the top 3 teams, fighting for the pennant, the World Series, and obviously the Dodgers won it last week. And what decisions and choices they make that you can actually apply to your business and to your life. Okay, so that's this coming Thursday's web class. And then next week, because it's Veterans Day Monday, our mastermind is moved to Tuesday, right? It's the same time, 6:30. And I will be in Singapore. They're running the mastermind in Singapore. And that is about the 4 steps that you can actually do to make more money. And I'm going to show you exactly what I've done to make more money with these same 4 steps, right? Okay, so that's this coming Thursday's web class and then next week's mastermind.